with your girl. Come on now. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up for your girl. Show me some love this morning. It's your girl, Coach LockMarie. On this beautiful, beautiful Thursday morning. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know the half of the half of the half. This joy and this inner peace that I have when they say the world did not give it. Man, it's amazing. It really is. And I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. I just had to do this episode, and this is just a word of advice. It's a tip, and it's just some wisdom to grow by for my fellow female human beings, co-creators, cohabitators in the world, whatever you want to call us. Because I've been dealing with women in a different way, in different arenas than normal, than what I'm used to from my past phase of my life. And so I'm seeing another side. I come from corporate America. I come from professionalism when it comes to dealing with women. So it was more, you didn't deal on the personal level, the personal issues or character. Even in the church realm, it's more of a different face put forth, because you're, in the church realm, it's the title that you're dealing with more than the person. So their personal characteristics and their attitudes and their demeanors, you rarely got those parts or sides of the women that I dealt with, because they knew what the name of, or the stigma behind the title that they had carried, and which was similar to my natural or my corporate job. Okay, so like if you were a manager or an administrator or a judge or an attorney, there's a certain criteria that comes with that title, right? Regardless to who you are as a person, because there is a total difference. And the older I got, the more I understood that. Just because a person is a first lady, or just because someone has a title of a CEO, does not mean that their characteristics or their personality is tip top or A1, when it comes to what we have put in line as characteristics of a good person or a certain quality of person. Titles have absolutely nothing to do with who you are as a person. That's why, when I was working in my past profession, I would always tell people, you cannot look at what a person does for a career and then judge them based on that, or feel that you should get something, a certain type of person from them, because you have not so great or nice everything, and now because of what I'm learning in life, you have aligned people and you have unaligned. We call it good and bad, when really there is no good or bad when it comes to certain things. It's just whether or not the person knows who they are. And no matter what you do as a profession, if you internally have not done the work, that is what will affect and will come up and eventually govern everything in your life. Okay? So when you have judges, you have law enforcement, you have doctors, you have nurses, you have teachers, you have presidents, you have pastors, you have bishops, you have Sunday school teachers, you have all these different titles, right? But out of all of those people with those titles, they all have inner struggles and inner issues that they are dealing with, that has absolutely nothing to do with the title that has been placed on them. Okay? We consider the title or the job that they are doing their purpose or their call, because that's what they, are doing. And I'm looking at it now, the older I get, that has absolutely nothing to do with why you were placed here. That is something you chose to do, right? Because you still have a lot of people doing those jobs in certain positions, and internally they are miserable. They are not happy, nor are they really being productive as a human being. They're doing a lot. They're doing the most, but they are not being who they were created to be. And that is a human being of love. I remember when I was younger, and they would always say, when God created us all, He created us all with a hole, with a little void that only He can fill, right? And we go through life trying to fill that void with everything, and but you never do it until that void, that what they considered a void, that is a love button, right? And if you do not tap into the love portion of yourself from the inside out, that's why you're seeking and searching and doing. I was a doer for years because I was taught to do, because that's the way I was trained, because that's what we thought. You gotta be willing workers. You gotta be constantly doing, moving, being productive. Work. Hi ho, it's off to work we go. You hear it with the kids, even with the dwarfs. But internally, inside, people are literally dead. They are zombies, walking, talking, doing zombies. Like literally machines, robots. the Tin Man from, um, what was it? Um, with the Yellow Brick Road with Dorothy. I can't think of the name right now, but the Tin Man. Literally, we are walking around without a heart because if there's no love, and love, once again, is not any of the action, any of the doings that we do, giving to charity and donating our time to this and being a part of that and volunteering, that has nothing to do with love. You can do all of that and still be miserable. Still not know who you are and what you are and why you are. You have to stop all that doing and go within. You have to take time for you. It's nothing outside of you can assist you with finding out who you are. Not even bubble baths, not even spa treatments, not even Cancun vacations, Vegas vacations, hotel stays, none of that outer stuff still helps you develop you. That work, that hard work, has nothing to do with action or emphasis outside of you. What are you? You are your emotions. You are your thoughts. You are your choices, your decisions. You are the inner being, your spirit, your vibration. My stomach growling, y'all. You are from within. And until you go within, all of that, it profits nothing. Little. That's why people are still worn out after a week's vacation. That's why people are still depressed, angry, frustrated, busted, and disgusted. And that's why I'm doing this podcast. Ladies, I have dealt with a new different arena, right? Where you can't fake the funk. Because the title don't matter. Because there is no title, right? And when I tell you I'm really seeing face value what other people have to deal with. Okay. To my older women, and when I say older, I'm talking from the age of 35 and up. 30, I'll give you 30 and up. Please, whether you have figured out your inner peace or your inner person or not, do not, please, let's stop tainting the younger generation. Let's give our younger ladies a chance. See, this is another phase. It goes around every couple of centuries, every generation flips, right? And this next generation is coming up different than the past generations. Let's allow them to be loving, kind creators. Their hearts are pure. They're being real with who they are. Do not do to them what your mama and your aunties and your grandmama and thems did to you. Give these young girls a chance to know who they are, to see things as their eyes, their inner beings is allowing them to see life. Do not put your views and your values on this next generation. I know we want to think we know it all and we got it all together and we are How has your life turned out? If you were real with yourself and you could do it over again, more than half of the decisions you make, you would not be making them. The only reason you are is because you're too scared to change what you have started. You done already got into this life and now you're living it daily. So you have to make the decisions that you're making because you're living according to a plan that someone else set up for you within that lifestyle. Do not force your children to get into those dysfunctional generational curses. Do not make them follow that trend. Please. Give them the chance to make their decisions. They know what feels right within. God placed in each of us, whether you want to believe it or not, it's in all of us. But whether we choose to follow the emotional guidelines, guiding system that He placed in us, that's a choice. Just like every decision we've made is a choice. And it's not so much as the decisions you're making being right or wrong or affect, it's how your emotions, how you're allowing your inner emotions and your feelings to react to the decisions that you have made. That is the choice that you have. Since you chose to be the woman you are, live the life you live, look the way you look, dress the way you dress, act the way you act, whatever you have chosen, because it is a choice. I don't care where you was raised, who your mama is, who your daddy ain't, what you thought you had in life. You still have a choice in who you have become. What you look like, how much you weigh, how much you don't weigh, all of that is your choice. The man you choose daily to interact with and deal with and relate to and have relations with, have children with, have financial struggles and troubles and issues with, infidelity issues, all of that was your choice and is your choice daily. So please do not take what you consider advice or don't even know what to call it no more, because it's not wisdom. Um, Information from the life you live based off of your emotions and your creations as a human. Do not take that and try and put it within your daughters or your children when they are coming from a total different mindset and set of emotions. I see the peace. I see the freeness and the joy. I see myself when I was their age. And a lot of these young girls, you see yourself when you were their age. But because you have forgotten, because you have gotten so involved in the last 10 or 15 years of your life, you have made it your I don't even know what to call it. You have made it your goal or mission, I guess, to let all the younger women know what kind of man to watch out for, or what kind of this to not do, or what this. I have learned, and I see, it is not anything, it has nothing to do with the other person or people in life that you deal with, which is why you get from them what you get from them. Okay, or why you have to interact with people in certain ways. It's all based off of what's going on internally with each person. So, perfect example. You have two siblings and you have one parent. And one sibling will get a total different side of that parent than the other sibling. It has nothing to do with, what we look at from a physical perspective is, oh, they like them more than me. Oh, that's the favorite. Oh, 90% of what's going on, they don't even have control themselves over what's going on. It's an internal, emotional, vibrational thing that's going on. The connection that is happening is because they are energetically, spiritually the same in a lot of respects. And that is what is happening. It's an attraction-based universe. God set this space that we live in, we call the world, up to work a certain way. And you match with certain people. It has nothing to do with, and I know we think it is. We like the same football team. We like the same basketball team. We like the same hobby or sport. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. It is the internal, energetic attraction that has connected you. Your best friend you done had for the last 50 years, that have nothing to do with y'all liking to go to the same clubs or wear the same outfits or have the same, likes and dislikes. You have those same things because you're the same. It's an energetic attraction. One of two things. You're attracting what you are, or you're attracting what you focus on. Whether you are it, like it, or not. If you're focused on something, and 90% of the time, most people are focused on the type of things that they deal with constantly. I know this might be a little bit deep, but those who get it will get it. Those who it's for will definitely understand it. Those who it's not, don't even worry about it. Just say, oh, she just babbling. Yep, you're right. For you, I'm just babbling. That's okay, because the message will get to those it's supposed to get to, and they will understand it, and it will click, and it will make common sense for them as to why their life has gone the way it's gone, and what they can do to change things that they don't like or don't want. Stop focusing on the things you don't want and don't like, and start focusing on life, goodness, love, being happy with yourself. Because I'm telling you, there are a lot of women, and like I said, I'm at that age now where I can speak it, and y'all just blame it on my age. Because I am the same age, and I'm in the brackets now where you ain't no thing as you my elder. I'm the elder. So we all up there together now. And when I'm dealing with these 60, 70-year-old women, 55-year-old women who still probably think I'm younger because of the way my physical looks, I have to remind them when I open my mouth and I speak with authority that I'm a full grown woman. And I see, and I have empathy for them. I have no anger in my, and that's how I know I have grown. Because when I get that negative vibe from them that it used to irritate me, because I'm telling y'all, I've dealt with this with family, like close blood, right? Female. And I've, been told all my life, oh, well, they're just jealous, or but I understand what that is now. No, it's not me. They're not jealous of me. They are upset with themselves not developing who they are and being true to who they are. And we, other women, are just a mirror reflecting to you what you need to work on within you. Because there is no reason for you to be angry, upset, literally gnashing at your teeth at another woman who you do not know, let alone someone in your family who you supposed to love. But I'm talking now about women on the street who this is your first view of them, the first interaction you have ever had with them. There's no track record, there's no nothing. You walk up, they walk up, or they're standing there and you walk up, they say good morning or hello, how are you? And your first initial reaction to them is to roll your eyes and to gnash your teeth. You definitely got some work to do within. There is something going on inside of you that you need to deal with. And young girls have to deal with you daily. And that should not be. Those young girls are happy, they're free, they're living their lives, they're enjoying their lives. Don't get mad at them because you are you. One of them, and it's funny how they see these young girls, they're smart. I had a situation with a lady, and I'm like, one thing you not gonna do, especially now with me, because like I said, I'm getting older, so I can get slower. You want to rush and be all like you irritated and in a hurry? That's when my spirit get real calm, cool, and relaxed. Because I control this. I control the space in which I'm involved in. My energy is the dominating. Anything that's not love, joy, peace, happiness, long suffering, when I'm in that space, if I have to be there, and there's nothing where and even then I have a choice, but this is something I choose to be involved in, another energy is not going to come in and try to ruffle my feathers because I control this. So I let you understand that you also have a choice to stay here and deal with this. You either going to bring it down a notch or you're going to leave. Because I'm the one who's here. Right? You have entered into my domain and my space where I have been given reign. And so now you must decide how you are going to deal with yourself in interacting with me. And that's the thing that a lot of women are not used to. Because what happens is their energy comes in all rah, and then instead of another woman containing and remaining true to who she is, loving, peaceful, she allows this other woman to affect her in a negative way, and she back. And then that's why you got this back and forth, back and forth. That's why you got the man who men have learned this. They got this real down. Men maintain their energy wherever they go 90% of the time. Unless they're dealing with a woman who has. And that's when they become the emotional estrogen person. Which is why I always said that unless I'm dealing with a man who is in control of his energy and his emotions, I feel like the man in a lot of relationships, because most men are not used to dealing with women who are in control of their emotions. Why do they say women are emotional? No, women are not emotional. Women have the same amount of emotions that a man do. Men are just more in control of their emotions, except for anger, because they have been taught that the other emotions are not masculine emotions. So they have learned to control those. But that anger emotion, they've been given, quote unquote, a pass in life to let that out because they have to protect. They have to, be in control. They have to lead. So a warrior has to have that. When no, a warrior, a king can lead cool, calm, and collect. And shout out to my dad, Pops Richardson. Because he is a good example of a man who is in control of his emotions, who leads by example. And I'm learning, and I see even some of the young cats who grew up, some of my friends, younger brothers, who are now taking on leadership positions in churches and different arenas, because they're from another generation, they have saw how their fathers have led with that and where it got them. So they're coming from another perspective, and they're learning to control their emotions, and they're leading with excellence and passion. And it's calm, it's smooth, which is the way it's supposed to be. Look at Jesus. What did I say? The only time in the Bible when he got angry that you can see where he just lost it was in the temple that time. Because he was cool, he was calm, and he was collect. He was in control of his emotions. He was an example for us by his calmness, his coolness. He just rode in the dirt. They ready to storm and stone the woman and this. They ready to this. They ready to that. They stomp it. And he just, peace be still. He just cool, calm, and collect. And that's what he wants for us, because he placed that in us also. But women, if you got some if you are a woman and you're hearing me now, if you still here, because if you one of them, you might have done tuned out by now. But if you walk into a store, or walk into a church, or walk into a school or building, or you passing down the hall, or you're in a grocery store or in the mall, or driving down the street, and another woman, or you're at a park walking by yourself or with your man, and another woman approaches and she says, "Hey, how are you guys today?" And your first initial response or reaction to her is negative, and you feel fire burning inside of you, like she done literally stole your life savings, or that person of a man you love, you need to go within yourself, and you need to do the work, they call it. You don't need no vacation. You don't need no spa treatment. You don't need no blunt. You don't need no blunt. You don't need no cigarette. You don't need no drink. You need to go within, and you need to work on you. Because all that external stuff you doing, them blunts, them cigarettes, that alcohol, them spa treatments, them vacations, all that's gonna do is be there for a moment. That high is going to pass, and you still are going to be the same person, and you still got to deal with you. That's why people keep going back to this external stuff, because it don't last. That's it. If you get high on life, if you get high on you, then you will be the only thing you have to go to outside of you. Those habits are just something to do. It only lasts for a second, because that's not what it was placed here for. The only person who can help you and change you is you. And being angry and upset with other women. And like I was saying, the young girl that I didn't even know she was observing what was going on. But she passed me after, because the lady was like, I mean, this woman, it's all I could say. Because I was not, this was a grand show of my growth and my test, because you were not going to pull me. I'm in too good of a headspace in my life now. My emotions are all together, and it's a choice whether or not I pop off on you, or snap off on you, or cut you deep to the white meat. That's my choice. But I don't choose to do that in these instances because it's not worth it. And so the only thing I could say as she walked away, gnashing, was, ma'am, you have a blessed. And I don't even usually say blessed. I'll usually say good. But no. I want her to be blessed. Ma'am, you have a good blessed day. Okay? And ooh, that's when I really, she was so angry with life. 'Cause it wasn't me. I ain't did nothing to you, lady. I don't even know you. It's like she started, she stopped, she walked one way, then she went back. She was like, she didn't know what to do. Her energy was just all off, right? Emotions just all over the place. You do the same. You have one. And I'm like, why are you mad? And I just looked at her and I smiled. I said, oh, of course. I said, that's every day. Every day of my life is blessed. And that's exactly what she was doing. And I'm just looking at her. And I'm just like, wow. But see, she could not get anything from me to justify her. She had to deal with her. And that's where I want my young girls to get to. Even with your mama, your auntie, your grandmamas, your cousins, older than you. I want you to get to the place of where you are so in tune with who you are as a young woman. Because I was there. And that's why I know now why I'm not going to put them on, but the one closest to me that should have been nurturing and loving me for days, when I say weeks, we living in the same house. She would not speak to me, look clean past me. Now I understand why. Back then I didn't. I thought I did something. I thought I was overdoing other stuff, being nice, and it wasn't me. She could not, she had no love in her to give me. She had no peace in, she could not relate or respond to me. I wasn't angry with her. I wasn't upset. The pure positive energy in me, she could not match. So she had to, we could not, there could not be any interaction. It all makes sense to me now. So I want younger women to understand, it's not you, boo. It ain't got none of you. It ain't not you, baby girl. It's that other woman who got years over you, who still have not figured out who she is, who still have not learned how to be pure positive energy and love, who is looking for her actions, her works, her degrees, her education. That's why women go to that, because they still trying to be who they can only be within themselves. No degree, no position, no title, nothing outside of you. No property you buying, no coaching career, nothing else is going to change who you are. At the end of the day, I don't care what you do, how much money you make. When it's all said and done, you still gonna have to face yourself eventually. And that's what it says. What does it profit a man, a woman, to gain the whole world and lose your soul. That's what your soul, your inner, who you are. You've lost it. You don't know if you're going or coming emotionally. And so, with the situation with the lady, she just, is your name on this? I said, I don't know. I said, but you know what? My name is right here. If you want to come take a picture of it, it's full, the entire name. You can knock yourself out. Like, I was just so serious. Like, lady, you do not scare me. Like, I don't know who you are or what you think you're doing, but it is not going to work here. I am full grown. And it has nothing to do my age, yes, in physical perspective, yes, I am a full grown, but I am full grown emotionally. When I say that now, that's what I'm talking about. Fully grown emotionally. And I understand that my emotions, I'm in control of this. Boo boo. And after she stormed off saying whatever she was saying, like whatever she was doing was, but I said, no, you baby, you didn't just became a fan, because now you can look me up, please do, and follow me on all social platforms, because you may learn something. But the young girl who came up after, and she walked and she said a statement. I know it's probably a line to a song or something, but it was a rhyme. But in a sense, it was, don't, I can't quote it right now, but I said I was going to text her and tell her to give me the exact words. But it was saying, don't be mad at me because you want to be me and you can't be me, or you haven't figured out who you are and you looking at me and angry with me, because I know who I am. And when I looked at her and I said, boy, out of the mouth of babes, like literally perfect praise, But instead of us understanding and realizing it as we get older, we just become more and more angry and bitter with the world, and it's sad. And that's why you have all the health and the, mental, emotional situations and the relationship situations that you're dealing with. And that because we have to govern our emotions. And there are a lot of women who have been able to govern it, but they're dealing with men who are not, and they're allowing those men to keep them going back and forth, flipping, flopping. But that's still a choice. But I want us to give our young girls, our next generations, give them the opportunity to choose life, to choose peace. And do not tell them let's give them a clean slate to start off, because what you got from a man or from a situation is what you emotionally or vibrationally or your thoughts, or you created that reality, right? That's why you were placed here, to deal with and to go through that. They have a total different energy, a total different vibe, a total different spirit, a total different emotional factor. They are a total different person, and they can truly be happy with who they are and where they are in their relationship. Don't taint them with your thoughts. And young women, no matter what your mama or your aunties and them or women older than you think, if it does not sit right with you and sound like it makes sense to your life, You don't have to believe it. Those old beliefs, because a belief is just a thought that is repeatedly spoken and thought. Those become our beliefs. All men are dogs. That is a line, a statement that has just been repeated over and over until that was a thought spoken, repeatedly spoken, that has now become a belief in 90 to, I don't know, I won't say 90. Half of our women population believe that. And as soon as a man do something that they don't feel is right or kosher, they fall back to that belief. Girl, you know what they say. Or all men cheat, or all men this, or all women that, or all of that is somebody got that thought, spoke it to enough people to where it became a belief, and now is out there. And it has so much momentum going. And unless you allow it, what they say, a bird can fly over your head, but you have a choice whether or not that bird sits on your head and makes a nest. You have a choice whether or not you allow these thoughts and these beliefs that other people have been believing for years to get in you and become a part of you. I chose, which my grandmother was one that broke that, and I'm glad. But I chose to break the thought that all white folks are the devil, or the white man's the devil. What in the world? Come on now. How are we shall overcome? How are we going to overcome talking madness like that? Understand, what you speak about another person does not affect that person. It does not affect that race of people. It does not affect that gender. When women speak things about men, when men speak things about women, when girls speak things about boys and vice versa, when one race speaks on another race or stereotypes, and it does not affect that other race. It only affects that other race or that other group of people or that other gender or that other woman or man if that person or those people allow it to become their belief about them. People say everybody out of Compton is ghetto. Everybody out of Inglewood is this. Or I know people who come from. I didn't even know they lived in certain areas of California until I met them. Years later, we talking and I'm finding out where they're. And I'm like, you from? Total opposite. Because they did not grow up with that belief that, oh, well, I'm from there, so I gotta act like this. I'm this, so I gotta act like that. No. It's a choice. And you have the power. You were giving the power from your Creator to choose. Choose ye this day not only who you will serve in a God versus devil perspective, but in life, who will you serve? What emotions will you serve daily? What attitudes will you serve daily? What viewpoints, what beliefs will you serve daily? Because you're serving your choices are serving something every day. And it's all a choice. It's all an individual decision. And I just want us as an older generation to give the next generation a chance to learn better earlier. Don't let them have to do like we did and go through 30, 40 years of believing other folks' beliefs, then finally realizing, oh my God, like that was, Lord, That didn't make no sense. That ain't what they meant. Do as I say, not as I do as I. No. Young people, learn early. Mama and daddy them are human. Your pastor, your first ladies, they get it wrong too. They don't have it all. They are humans, and if they have not learned how to take care of their emotions, the wisdom, quote unquote, the knowledge, quote unquote, the advice, quote unquote, that you're giving is tainted. Because if they're not telling you to follow your guidance or your lead or your heart, or asking you what it is that you feel is right for your life, but they're just giving you everything that's right for your life, they still don't know it themselves. And they still looking to other people and other places for their peace and their happiness. But you can never and you will never find anything outside of yourself. And God he designed us each that way, because that would make us go within and look to nobody else but him. But the problem is, in certain titles, in certain positions, in certain arenas, they need you to look to them, because that is what they have created as their money, their, livelihood. So they need you to need them. So they're not going to tell you the truth to be free and to go within, because they want you to come to them, because they want to charge you to come to them. They want your money in whatever way they can get it, instead of understanding that whether people give from your manipulation or your coercing and persuasion or not, you can still receive and be blessed and have things work out in your favor if you just do right and be kind. Excuse me, and be loving. I always use my dad excuse me, as an example, because he's a great example of this. He is a pastor, and I went to go visit him one year, and I went to his church on a weeknight. And so it was about maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 people there. It was a Bible study. And so, me being born and raised in a church, I'm automatically going in my purse, getting my money out so that I can, have an offering. And we go through the lesson or whatever, and then he dismisses. And so I'm like, and nobody else say nothing, so I slid my money back in my pocket. And so I went to him, I said, Pops, I said, you didn't take up an offering. He said, nope. I said, okay. I said, not that I'm, tripping or nothing. I said, but can I ask why? He said, He said, I don't ever take up one during the week. He said, I take it up on Sunday. He said, why would I drain my faithful that come every during the week? He said, I just get it from everybody on Sunday when the looky-loos and everybody. I was like, wow. Now that right there needs to be applauded. Because I have been in church my entire life, and I had never heard a pastor or had a pastor not take up an offering at a service. I don't think I've ever been to a service. I take that back. When they charge you to go in, like a musical, then they don't take up an offering. But they still got your money because they charge you to get in. But I had never heard that ever come from a. Now, I'm not saying other ones don't do it, but I'm just saying in my arena where I've been, at least 2 or 3 times within that service, they gonna pass that plate and gonna give scriptures to justify why you need to give them your money and things of that nature. But that really showed me there that he knew his livelihood. God said that he would supply his needs according to his riches and glory. And my dad has never lacked and don't lack. And even then, I handed him that money. And other people that I know, people are constantly giving into my father and doing for my dad and, my bonus mama. They're constantly being blessed by people because of their heart and the pureness of their heart. And so that proves right there, you don't have to force anything. And when you're forcing it, that's why you're not getting it. That's why you get so much resistance from people. When I go places and I see things and it's freely given or it's freely, people out the goodness of their heart will give you probably more than what you were asking for a lot of times. But because we ourselves, our thoughts, our emotions are keeping us from certain things. That's why we have to go within and figure out what it is we need to do from an internal perspective in order to receive in life, and not get upset or angry with other people who are happy or, excited about life. But I had to I had to get this off my chest in a way where it was productive, I'll say. Because me talking on the phone with somebody about what happened, or, girl, you know what this lady did? No. Because I want to take what I go through, what I have experienced, which story of my life with women. Like I already know half my life. I knew it had nothing to do with me. There was a lot of women just, they don't like themselves, and that's their choice. No one told you not to like yourself. Like, if you stop comparing yourself to other women, if you stop looking at what society, considers a beauty or whatever, because I know some women who totally the opposite looking of me and are freaking, oh my God, I look at them like they are the most beautiful, you know what I'm saying, in their arena. And that's because they know. They have done the work within. They have found out who they are, and they let that beauty shine from within, and it does. So I want to applaud all of my women who compliment other women, who smile at other women when they see them, who say hello and good morning, and respect the fact that everybody is different and other women are different. I applaud you. Continue to be who you are. Continue to let your light shine so that they may see your good works. Because that's the good works. Works, we have taken that word because we're so used to the physicalness of it, but that is not the work they were talking about. It's from the inside out. Those are your good works. What did he say? They will say, Lord, Lord, but I did this in your name. I did that. And he will say, depart from me. I know you not, ye workers of because that outer work that it has nothing to, that's not what he's talking about. He's not worried about no charity donations, no volunteering, no revival. That's not his. We on the wrong level. He's talking about from your heart, the works, internal, your thoughts, something no one else knows but you and him. He sees all and knows all. Every thought you've thought about another person, those are your works. That is your heart being far from him, because you can't get to him because you got all that other stuff in between there. Remember, on the cross, he turned his head from his, God could not shine on, because there was so much on him. There's so much mess in your heart about other people in between you and him. That's why you can't receive, and you can't figure out why certain things you want in life you can't, because you got so much gook that you're looking at other people. That's why I love the song "Drink Water and Mind Your Business." Stop worried about why such and such ain't doing this, and girl, did you hear that she did, and girl, did you see that video she posted, and girl, did you see what she had on it? And now I did it to my, see, I didn't go to another woman. I went to my brother. I texted my brother yesterday because I saw something. I said, oh Lord Jesus, is this what I'm gonna have to see all summer? It ain't even got hot yet. Oh Lord Jesus. Rasputia in the flesh. But that's hey, to each their own, if that's their choice. But I'm not gonna be walking around being angry and feeling. I laughed really, because I'm like, okay, if she like it, if she loves it, I like it. Whatever works for her. People have choices. And that's what we have to understand. It is not my job or my calling to look at another woman with negative emotion because she chose to put on an outfit that I don't agree with. That have nothing to do with me. I show her love. I show her love by emotionally leaving it alone. And if I got anything to say, I will say a prayer for her to be blessed and to find all that she's looking for internally. Whatever it is she desires and needs, Lord, you allow her to grow as you have allowed me to grow. That is my only prayer for anybody now. Oh my God, Lord, touch her heart, touch her mind. That he don't hear that. Because you're doing it from the wrong mindset, the wrong emotions, the wrong heart. 90% of what we call prayers, God ain't heard, he ain't even turned, he turned a deaf ear. He ain't even listening to that. He don't hear that at all. He hears your heart. The heartfelt prayers, the pure prayers that really have the other person's best interest, not your judgmental view of them. But when you really have their best interest at heart, those are the prayers he acknowledges and he hears. That's why they won't change and they don't come and they don't become a part of, because your heart is not right. We got to get our hearts right. So I'm talking to my 30 and up. It's a heart. Stop fruit inspecting other people and inspect your own fruit. Inspect your own heart. Look at your own ways. It ain't got nothing to do. And I know for a fact, and I'm so glad. That's why I said I know God put me in the life I live for a reason. I grew up didn't wear pants, didn't wear makeup. My skirts was down darn near past my feet. Everything was covered and sheltered. Literally, right? That had nothing to do with my heart. Wearing, and no offense to him, but wearing because I've done it on Halloween, dressed like a nun, has nothing, if your heart ain't right, you could wear a freaking moo, a paper bag, a 60-gallon trash bag, cover your head, cover everything, and nothing be shown or seen. But if your heart is not right, you might as well have on a see-through, you know them things that your comforters come in, them plastic cases. You might as well be wearing one of them with all your parts exposed. That's the equivalent to what people look at. When people see somebody wearing something like that, they say, oh my God. Well, that's what God is saying to your heart behind all that suited and booted attire, religious attire. That's what God is saying to you about your heart. If your heart is not right, if you're not loving from a pure, positive heart. So hopefully this has been a heartfelt podcast to allow people to understand your heart must be right in order to affect other people in a positive way. And like I said, when you're dealing with men, ladies, I know for a fact, they can change and they will change if your heart is right. They will drop every habit, every weight, and every sin but you have to look at them from a different heart. And I know when you have a judgmentalness about certain things because of the way you were raised and trained and brought up, men's supposed to do this, but if your heart toward it is not right, they will never change. They will always remain the same because of your heart and your views about that subject. It's each individual subject that you have to address in life with your heart. And it's a lesson learned for all of us, for men and women, in dealing with relationships. Some relationships just are not supposed to last forever, contrary to popular belief. You were in it for a season to learn and to move on to whatever is next, whatever was created specifically for you at the specific phases in your life. And some people, yes, were created to stick with one for the duration of the time being. But everybody have different paths to live, and you have to know your path and follow your heart. Excuse me. All right. So I hope you guys gonna have a great Thursday. Enjoy your day and do your own heart inspection. That's where it starts, with the emotions. If you start with your emotions, then your physical health and your physical situations can reverse and change. But if our hearts are not right, emotionally, vibrationally, energetically, spiritually, our physical, I don't care how healthy you eat, it's you got to start at the basics. And the basics are your emotions. The basics are your thoughts and your feelings. That's the basics. All right. I love you all. and let's go out with a bang. Let's see what we gonna play. What we gonna play? Let's turn up. This is Turn Up by The One. Beats by The One. Alright, y'all. I love you. I want the best for us all. That's why, I speak on things and I discuss it so that we can really think about it. And as you go through your day, observe and see. Notice yourself when you see another woman. How do you feel? What do you think? When other women look at you, what do they do? It has nothing to do with you. It's not your shoes. It's not your skirt. It's not your hair. That's something she's dealing with. She's just using you as an excuse to feel that way or to think that way. All right. We'll get deeper on that one day. Cause that's a whole nother podcast. But yeah, that people turning up their lips at you have nothing to do with you at all. That's all them, boo. That's all them. All right, y'all. Peace. This has been your girl, Coach LockMarie, and I will see you on the next episode.